y'all, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Growing Up Hip Hop. This is season 7. I want to say episode 3. I feel like I'm still tired from last night. But let's get into this review. So honestly, this episode wasn't that much, and I say that and watch this video be 40 minutes long. Good Lord, I hope not. But there were 3 storylines going on. We had Eric and his situation, then Egypt being on tour with her mom, and then the whole situation that happened at the end with Tiny and Sequoia. So I'll just talk about what I thought was least important to most important. So Eric and his situation. So we have a scene with JoJo, Eric, and Lazy in the studio. They're working on some record called Legacy or Legends. I don't know. I grew up in the suburbs of the South. If it ain't got no trap beat on it that you can shake a little something, I'll switch that. I have just found a new appreciation as I've gotten older for like Northern rap. Like, in California rap, but because like I said, I've grown up in the suburbs of the South, and like it hit different for us. Like, you gotta have a beat to shake it to you. You gotta be able to shake your rump to it. Why did I say rump like I was 59? Oh my god. Oh, where did that come from? I was trying not to say the A word, and I said rump. Wow. Okay. But they in the studio. We actually found out that Lazy really thought Sequoia knew that him and Tiny were like an item, and he realized at the party that she really did not know that we was together like that. So he feels like he does need to speak to her about it. So he was like, he understood why she was like mean mugging them so hard. We then have a scene of Eric at the casino with his friend, and then JoJo pulls up, and we find out that Eric stay at the casino like all the time. He's talking about that's like his area to where he releases like his man cave. It sounded like an addiction to me, because I was like, sir, you at the casino like every day to the point where the cooks know who you are. That's an addiction, my friend. The only thing and the only reason why it probably doesn't seem to him like it's an addiction is because Eric has like multiple businesses, and the money that he's probably like losing or betting with is like leisure money, like money that he probably just like when he saves for his family, he got leftover money, so he played with that. Because Eric gives very much, if the bills are paid, my kids aren't wanting for anything, my wife is good in that way, then I can do whatever I want. So while they're sitting down, they end up talking to JoJo about his situation with that man that is Tanice's daddy. I don't know that man's name. Is it Buck? Is it Block? No, Block is Candy's man. I don't know that man's name. But JoJo was basically saying, like, I don't know why he got an issue with me. Like, I do what I'm supposed to. I take care of my girl. My wife, I'm not putting my hands on her. Like, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm at the house with her and the kids. Like, everybody's okay, so I don't get why he has an issue with me. So Eric was like, pretty much, maybe you just need to ask him what the deal is, because JoJo was like, they've never, I guess, been able to sit down and have a real conversation. It's just always like, what's the issue? So he said he gonna do that. We then see a scene of Eric picking up his kids from school, his youngest son and his daughter, and like, they is rowdy. Eric told him he was on an important phone call. They don't care. They gonna argue and hit each other back and forth. When he gets home, the house is in disarray, and you see him talking to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah is telling him that one of the girls need to go to a party, and she was like, well, you can take her while I cook. And Eric was like, I don't really want to do that. But like, you can do it. And she's like, no, you can stay here and help cook dinner and like be here and, be attentive or present with your children and me. And then she goes on about how when I call you, you need to pick up, because it seems like when he was at the casino, he wasn't picking up. And Eric gonna be like, oh, I left my phone in the car. That's a lie. That's a lie. Honestly, to me, this storyline seems contrived, because we've seen Eric on this show for almost all 7 seasons. I think he was there. No, I don't think Eric came until like maybe season 2 or season 3 of Growing Up Hip Hop. So it seems weird to me that all of a sudden we would see him having these issues with Aaliyah. And Aaliyah gives very much, she will go off on you if she feels like she's being disrespected. We've seen her do it. And then the way that the house was in disarray, it gave very much like this is staged. Because I do not believe Aaliyah would have her house looking like that. She gives very much like pulled together black mom. Like she's a fun black mom, but she'll get you together real quick. So this felt fake to me. And what it felt like to me is that like maybe the producers like tapped on Eric's shoulder and was like, you gonna have to give us more than just being the bone collector, because that is what Eric is. Eric moves the stories along. And I feel like they should have, like, stayed on the whole Eazy-E discourse with his family. Maybe he didn't want to, because I feel like that was more interesting than this. Like, I was interested to see, like, how his family was going to move forward with that whole documentary coming out, how they feel like, the way Eazy-E passed away was, like, sus. Like, maybe someone actually killed him versus him dying because of a disease. Like, that to me was interesting, but I don't know if Eric wanted to divulge that much of his situation. But yeah, I don't believe this, but it could be true, because Eric does give very much, like I said, if my family's okay and I'm the provider, because he is providing, then I can run these streets and do whatever I want. But I would hope that wouldn't be his mentality when you see how much his family has suffered with the way his dad has all these children scattered throughout the globe. Well, not really the globe, the country, America. But let's move on. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Egypt scenes. So the episode actually opened up with Egypt and Sam being in that desert, that dystopian world house, and Sam is in I guess their studio. I guess that was their office space, because the room didn't make sense to me. Like, I actually got distracted trying to understand why things were placed in places. Because you got Sam's studio, like, on the wall. Then there's, like, a dining room table built for, like, an apartment, because it has 4 chairs. And it's, like, one of them old dining room tables that I remember when I was a little kid. Then you have a bed in the corner with a tripod in front of it. And then there's a sofa. I was like, because I get the bed and the tripod because he do OnlyFans, which I ain't never seen and don't want to see. Then I get the studio because they do the music. I just didn't understand the bed, not the bed, the dining room table, unless y'all gonna be on it. I don't know if y'all be doing things on that table. And then the sofa, it's just a lot was going on in the background, and I was just like, I'm confused. Okay. So Egypt comes in and they sit down and they having a conversation. Like I told y'all, I was distracted. But the only thing I took from this conversation is that Sam is definitely an opportunist. I used to try to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I felt like in the beginning when Egypt and Sam were together, it felt like everybody was being very overbearing, because I'm like, they all have seen Egypt grow up as a child, so everyone felt like Egypt was their little sister. So I felt like they weren't giving her room to grow. But then as the series has gone on, it made sense why people felt some type of way about Sam. And honestly, in this conversation, it just solidified to me that I do feel like he's an opportunist. They're sitting down having this conversation, and all he keeps doing is putting we and I in this statement about her moment about going on tour with her mom. He's talking about that's the biggest stage I've ever dreamed to be on. Well, you're not on it. Then you're saying, go out there and show them all the hard work we've done. Go out there and show them what we've been doing, perform for us. No, she should be performing for herself. Even if she was married or attached to this man, at the end of the day, she's performing. I've never heard of a producer saying, go out there and show them what we've been doing. I've never heard that. Like, yes, producers get, what's the word? They get accolades and things of that nature for how great they produce a song or master it or remix it and all that stuff, which they deserve to get because that's their work. But at the end of the day, like, you wouldn't have that without the artist doing the work as well. So it just sounded weird to me. It just sounded weird. And then I just like I said, I can't give Egypt any more grace anymore, because it's like, I get it. You're 24. I get it. But in my mind, once you hit 25, and like you go beyond, to me, you're an adult. because it's like your brain's fully developed at 25, and as well as a lot of things that were like childish or like you could get grace when you were in your early 20s, you don't get it anymore. And at this point I don't have it for her anymore, because I feel as though I understood why she clung to Sam in the beginning. It's like you're young, you're coming of age, you meet this guy, he makes you feel like your dreams matter. He makes you also feel like a woman, like you're being seen. So of course you want to like attach yourself to him. He's artsy, he's kind of like a bad boy. At that age, girl, I might have got caught up too. You know, but it's like you're an adult now and you're about to bring life into this world, as well as you're married. You have to start like thinking for yourself, and it seems like she doesn't do that. Like it seems like she doesn't have friends either, because I'm like, where your people's at? I'm not even talking about TT. I'm not talking about her brother or Tretch or Pep. I'm talking about like your friends. Like this show has been on for 7 seasons, and we've seen different group events, and people invite their friends and they put the banner at the bottom where it says like Angela's friend, TT's friend, or like TT's cousin, or Tyran's friend. Like we've seen that. We've never seen that with her. And I'm like, have you isolated yourself, or has he isolated you to the point where you don't have people that you can call? Because I promise you, y'all, it's not always like the dude isolating the woman. It's sometimes women isolating themselves, because I've seen it with other people where it's like you took it upon yourself to do it. And the guy might not have even prompted you to do that, but you got so consumed with that person being your forefront and your focus that you end up pushing everybody else away. And Egypt gets very much like codependent. Like she gives codependency, like she gives that. So they're down in Florida for the tour, for the mixtape tour. She's doing a sound check. She's nervous. It's understandable. This is a dream of hers, and she just wants to make sure she does it right. She's on the mic. Pep is on stage watching her do her sound check. And at the end of the song, you hear like the clicking sound of a gun. And Pep is like, whoa, 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 pause. Why is that there? I told Sam to take it out. Egypt comes back. It's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, we like agreed upon this. And the mom's like, Pep's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. So they go down to the sound stage, and Pep is just kind of like, can we take that out? Call Sam, tell him to send us something new. So they call Sam. And this to me is like Sam did that on purpose to sabotage or to cause a situation, because when he answers the phone, he's like, I told y'all should have told me to have me there. And I'm agitated with Pep and Egypt, because I'm like, why is he answering that phone like that? Why is this little boy calling you mom and you not checking him? Because had I been Pep, I'd have been like, Mom, if you're calling me your mom, if you're calling me that, you would not be speaking to me like this. So Sam is like, no. Sam says something to the effect of like, tell mom if she wants me to do something, she gonna have to pay me for it. Mother, you was living in my house rent free. That's all the payment you will ever need. You were not living rent free with your mom and your stepdad, or your dad and your soon to be stepmom. And I only know this because when I was trying to look up Sam's age, they had pictures of his stepmom and his dad and his mom and his stepdad. So I'm just like, you weren't living with neither of your parents. You were living with me rent free. You got the audacity to come at me like that. And Pep wasn't getting mad enough for me, because I'd have got ignorant. I got real rude with him on the phone. And Egypt just agitated me, because it's like, at first she thought it was cute when you hear the sound of the gun, she's like, boom. And then when her mom gets mad, all of a sudden, like, oh, I know, I understand what I just want everybody, I don't want nobody to get triggered. I want everybody to be at peace. And I'm like, Egypt, stand up for yourself. If you want that sound at the end of your music, have it at the end of your music, if that's something as you as an artist agreed upon. But for her to fold that quickly lets me know that was a Sam decision and you just went along with it. And it's annoying, because you should have a mind of your own, especially with you about to bring a baby into this world. And it doesn't make sense. Then we get to her performance. I get the girl, everybody think they can sing, but no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Her rap voice, it was cute. And I feel like if that's what you gonna do, if you want to sing a little something, be like Nicki and Doja and them. Even Cardi do it. Like rap your lyrics and then sing the hook. But you singing a whole entire song is a no. But her rap's voice was actually like, I was like, okay, that's kind of cute, girl. I could give you that. The outfit, no. The hair, no. I like braids, but you're performing. This is your first performance opening up a tour. Where is, like, you look like one of the fans in the, like one of the patrons of the concert. Like, if you gonna wear braids, I need them to be obnoxious. I need them to be annoying. Like, I need you to be like when Beyonce had that braid for the Lemonade tour. I needed to be iconic like that, where that lady was, she was whipping that braid around like a whip. And there were so many memes. I need you to, like, she could have had goddess lock, like, not, yeah, like goddess locks, or like the goddess braids with all that hair and the braids interwoven into it. Then the outfit, why are you wearing all black? Like, you had nothing on the stage. Like, the stage is black. Girl, you should have had on something vibrant. You talking about you being a boss? Like, where's the colors of a boss? Like, I was like, this makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. But she performs. She's proud of herself. And Pep is proud. And it was all to the good, to the good. But I don't know with her. They even showed a scene where she was on the phone with Sam, and he was like, you do it for us. Do like when I watch you perform in the living room. Then she had the nerve to say, Egypt had the nerve to be like, I wish Sam was here, because at the end of the day, he's been developing me as an artist since we met. How can somebody who can't even get their own career off the ground develop you? Girl, where's your mind? Open it up. Where is it? Let's move on. So Sequoia and her mama. We had a scene where Sequoia was on the phone with was it Jodis? Her daddy. But then some people said that's not her daddy. I don't know. Maybe he's her stepdad, but he's been there. But I don't know. She's on the phone with her dad. They're talking. She's talking about how she feels like her mom has switched up on her. The dad even said that. And she's just feeling like she don't even know her mom anymore. At the end of the episode, we see a sit down. And it got really heated. So Sequoia came in there with an attitude already. And at first, I was put off by her attitude. But then I had to remember, she's been trying to contact her mom and get in contact with her mom like for a while now. And her mom even said herself, Tiny even said that she pushed everybody away. So I would probably have an attitude too if that's not the relationship me and my mom had before she got with this man. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to be a good child, a good daughter, and just accept this when you pushed me away during a time that possibly I needed you. So they sit down and they have the conversation. We find out that, like, Sequoia was the only one that didn't know what was going on. And that, like, you could tell that hurt her, as well as she's like, does my dad know? And Tiny's like, I've had conversations with your dad. You could tell that Sequoia probably thought her parents were going to get back together. But Tiny's like, girl, we ain't been living together for 2 years. Like, I'm ready to move on with my life. And that's her right to move on. Things then took like a different turn, because Sequoia started to get angry, where she was just like, you know what, I think I need new management, because I don't like people fraternizing. Like, you mix business with pleasure. So Tiny's like, you think that really gonna hurt me? Like, I don't like the way you talking to me, little girl. So Sequoia's like, oh, so I'm a little girl now. Okay, but I'm supposed to be understanding of what's going on. So in that, right, Tiny was contradicting herself, is because it's like, you're saying she's an adult and she understands what happens when you're dating people like that, but then you call her a little girl when she give you attitude. You can't pick and choose, ma'am. So they're sitting there, it's getting real heated, and Sequoia's just kind of like, I don't like this and I don't agree with it. And Tiny's like, I'm an adult and you don't have to like it because I'm happy. So then Sequoia's like, you know what, whatever. So she gets up, she's leaving. The exchange is getting a lot more heated, where Tiny is like, I don't like the way you talking to me, and you gonna regret talking to me like that, and you gonna need me before I need you. And then Sequoia's like, okay, cool, whatever, it's whatever. Then Sequoia's like, yeah, unmic me. She was like, I don't want you dating a rapper. He gonna break your heart. And then Tiny was like, well, you would know, like, you've been with one. And she was like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling you. I don't like you being with a rapper. So she gets in the car. It really hurt Tiny, because we see a scene of Tiny crying. as the scene ends. And the truth of the matter is, I see it from both sides. Tiny is an adult. She does not have to stick in a marriage where she probably got like been through a lot, because she even said like, you were in the house with me, and Sequoia's like, I know. But I understand her being like, look, I'm tired. Like, I've been a caretaker, probably a therapist, a parent to this grown man for years. Like, I deserve to be happy, because we're not going to act like being with someone who has drug abuse issues and alcoholism ain't a lot to deal with. But I think the way in which Tiny handled this was wrong. Like, you can't sit here and distance yourself from your daughter and then pop out this relationship where everybody else around her knows. But if y'all were supposed to be so close, she probably takes that as a betrayal. And I get that from Sequoia's standpoint. Like, we've always been close, and all of a sudden, because you get a new man, you distance yourself away from me because you don't want to be judged. But I think Sequoia also has to understand, like, if you were in the house and you saw the messed up relationship between your mom and dad, why would you want them to stay in that relationship? I don't think she wants them to, but I also think it's probably hard for her, dealing with her parents being divorcing, because maybe she thought they had came to a point where they really were working it out, and it's no longer that way. Hopefully they can get back to being cool with each other. I didn't expect the lady to cry. I didn't expect Tiny to cry at the end. So it must have really hurt her feelings the way Sequoia was talking to her. But I feel like Sequoia is just really hurt and pissed off that her mom would do this. And I really don't even think it's the whole dating lazy situation. I just think it's the fact that everybody else around her knows what's going on with her mom, and she doesn't. And they're supposed to have this relationship where they don't really hide things from each other. So it's like, you didn't even give me that much. So I think that's really what's hurting her. But she was being disrespectful. She was. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.